Welcome to the DoNow Show, the place that features entrepreneurs from around the world that have fun in business. Listen as they share how they create from a place of fun by flipping the overwhelm of how into the possibility of doing how. I am your host, Terrell Van Hemert, the co-head honcho of DoNow.co, where it's all about resting in uncertainty, but creating regardless.
Welcome to DoNow podcast, where we talk about our friends and talk about what they're up to. And this is Clay Green, high performance coach extraordinaire. Hey, Clay.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi.
So I met Clay. He was actually the first entrepreneur to ever kiss me against my will. So.
Wow. With those lips, I'm surprised that's the truth. I did not know I had that honor. Awesome. That's great. Man.
So Terrell has some questions for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. On that note, all right. Can you describe to us what Getting It Done 101 is?
So, Get It Done 101 is a class that I'm getting ready to launch. That class that I've launched and I've successfully helped a lot of people with. Get It Done 101 is kind of what I call the missing piece from all the other classes that are on the internet. Every class that you go into on the internet, all three of us have been through the foundation, I believe, at one point or another. And there's this part right in the beginning of the foundation that talks about mindset. And then there's Amazon selling, and there's Kindle books, and there's marketing consulting, and there's all these different things that you can do and you can make money doing. And I believe that you can make money doing those 100% successfully every time. But if you look at the numbers, there's only about 10 at the other side successful. And the reason is because in my opinion, in my expertise, in my experience, the reason is because that mindset part is the critical piece. And the teachers, no offense to the teachers, because freaking Dane Maxwell or I don't want to start dropping names. There's so many awesome instructors out there doing so many things online, but they're experts in, like, let's just use Kindle publishing. They're really good at Kindle publishing. And the reason they are really good at Kindle publishing is because they beat themselves up and they firmly understand and they firmly have entrenched themselves in the mindset part. But that's not the part that class is focused on. And that's the part that everybody wants to learn, is they want to learn the secrets about Kindle publishing. So they breeze right over the mindset stuff. Well, Get It Done 101 is 5 basic pieces. It's a 5-part framework that pretty much, if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, if you're going to be successful at being an Olympic gold medalist, even that, if you're going to be successful at it, you will get good at these 5 things, period. Now, the trick is, how quick are you going to get good at them? How well are you going to get good at those things? And how much time are you going to waste letting the internal self struggle with all that stuff, of these 5 basic things?
Cool.
So yeah.
So with Getting It Done 101, it's how do you create from a place of fun in that sphere?
Say that again.
How do you create from a place of fun in that sphere of getting it done, in that mentality?
I still didn't quite. How do I create from a place of fun? Yeah.
In that mentality, like Getting It Done 101. It's about the journaling and meditating.
Well, that's one. That's one about, yeah.
One part. Yeah. How would you have someone, if they think here it is, if they think it's boring, they don't understand, they think, Clay, do I really have to do this? How would you, what would you tell them to get them motivated to do it?
So that's an excellent question, actually. The motivation or the meditation is one of the hardest things to get someone to start doing. Meditation and journaling are the bedrock, and it's lesson 1 and Get It Done 101. The lesson title is called Think, Do Not React. And in that, it comes down to you need to meditate and you need to journal now. And there's no question about that. You need to start meditating and journaling. So here's the problem. Everybody has this image of meditation in their head, and it varies person to person to person, right? And some people think that you have to sit here and you have to have your legs crossed, your fingers in this perfect pose, and you have to say Om, and all you can think about is Om for 20 minutes or whatever. Well, the reality is, to start the habit, you just got to find what works for you. And right now, there's such a huge array of different things. You can go on YouTube. You can go on iTunes, the Android Play Store. There's apps. There are businesses centered around nothing but providing you with what you need to start meditating. Headspace app, Omvana app. There's so many different things out there and different ways to meditate. I'm one of those guys that kind of has a little bit of ADD. Or ADHD, whatever it is, doesn't matter. I'm easily distracted by whatever it's called. It was really hard for me to develop a meditation habit. What I had to do, for example, was I had to tie in a guided meditation with like a yoga stretching practice kind of thing. So I had to get my body moving and doing something so that I could focus on stretching a muscle, let's say, while I'm like breathing and concentrating on my breathing while I'm listening to a guided meditation.
Wow, that sounds so much easier.
And for many people these days, that's the trick. It's like you've got to forgive yourself and like, okay, you can't flip a switch and instantly be a Zen Buddhist. You can't. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one of those ADHD guys too, and talk about like I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna ask myself, like I'll say I want to ask myself a question like 10 times, and like by the 3rd time I'll be like asking 25 different questions because my thought process will just be like,
yep. There's the trick. Like for folks like you and I, Daniel, it sounds like we've got to learn to stay focused, and there is nothing more powerful. They've proven this. That's kind of part of the story of my story and my journey as well. And we can get into that hopefully a little bit, but the things that I've learned and what I've understood and the research that's happening now in the mind, it's nailing it. Meditation, journaling, and gratitude. If you can focus on just those things, or if you can focus your meditation and journaling on gratitude, that is literally going to be making the biggest impact inside your brain for the time that you spend.
Wow.
Biggest bang for your buck.
What does gratitude do in your brain?
Whew. Wow. So one of the things is, guys, I'm not a PhD and I'm not a brain scientist. So I can't tell you all the nitty gritty, gory details of it. But the bottom line is, if you look around you right now and you think about your life, most of us, not everybody, but everything around you, like up to and including the design of this t-shirt, the color of the t-shirt, the color of my water bottle, the words and the little logo on here, everything. Oh, perfect. Hold that back up, Daniel. Hold that back up for a second. Right. So whatever he's got, he's got some paint. He happened to have some paint there. Look at that picture. If you look at Daniel's picture or whatever that is, and you think about it, everything on there is designed to tell you you're not good enough unless you buy and use this product. This product will give you what you want. You're not good enough if you don't drive a Mercedes, or Jeep, or whatever car you happen to be looking at. It's everything. It's oppressively everywhere. And I don't want to turn into a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but that's the bottom line. It's true. It's like, there you go. Yeah, copywriting, right? We've talked about this a lot. Gratitude So that causes your brain, that's telling your brain basically, you're not good enough if you don't buy this. You're not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. The number of times that goes into your head, it creates neural pathways. It creates connections between different neural synapses and all that stuff. And it creates these pathways. And the more pathways that get connected that way, the worse off you are, basically. Right? And you want to like literally switch those 90 degrees and look around you, and you want to see great, you want to be grateful and happy and confident and all that stuff. And now, when we get into the nitty gritty of like why you want to be confident, why you want to focus on gratitude and all the details associated with that, that's when we start talking specifically about the type of business you may be in and what you may be trying to accomplish. But having said that, every bit of research that I've done, everything that I've studied, meditate and journal right now and focus on things you're grateful for and just amplify gratitude in your life to rewire your synapses and have you thinking the right way, kind of like more like of an abundance mindset, if you will.
Oh, wow. I think you just like flipped something incredible in my world, which is like, what is it going to take to sell people things, not because they're not good enough, but because like they're already awesome. And you know.
Exactly. And the answer to that question is value. You have to be confident in what you're offering is going to provide that person value. That's why the new heart-centered entrepreneurship and heartfelt stuff that you see out there is so real, and it's making such a connection, and it's making such a huge difference in everybody's lives. Like I will not take a client if I don't think I can help them. Period.
Nice. So you told us about journaling, meditating. If we were going to give our do challenge to get somebody to start right away, what exactly would they do? What would you have them do?
The number one thing that I tell people, and frankly, you have to do this or I don't work with you, is you have to create a launch. You have to create a morning routine that is ritualistic, that is not necessarily ritualistic, that is ready. You have to have meditation and you have to have journaling. Now, having said that, there are people that I work with that meditate in the middle of the day instead of the morning maybe. But the most successful people that I've ever worked with, everybody that I've ever interviewed that has attained success in any of these classes that I'm talking about, without doubt, the number one thing that you must do is start a morning routine that puts your mind in the right frame of mind for your day. So find, if you are meditating, awesome. If you are journaling, awesome. What can you add to it? Most important thing would be some type of gratitude. After that, you start imagining what your day is going to look like, or what you want your world to be. That would be my challenge.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
I think we'll probably create like can we create a PDF or something so people can figure out exactly how to do that?
There's trick so they can figure out how to do that. I have a lot of things that I can share that are questions and things like that. But the trick is that you need to figure it out. You definitely need to make it work for you. Yeah. Everybody does something a little different. Yeah.
Cool. So maybe like just like a work guide of how to build your own best meditation morning launch practice, something like that. And then
there's a lot of stuff out there. Yeah, I can definitely share some stuff.
Whatever your best one is, or like something that would be good. Like just so people get started, we can link to it in the show notes.
There's a system called the Day Launcher system that helped me a lot. There's a book and a whole program called the Miracle Morning. That's another awesome one. I know that John Lee Dumas of Entrepreneur on Fire, and I know that Catherine and is it Andrew? Catherine's partnered with somebody and that's those two people that I just mentioned, John Lee Dumas and Kat from the foundation. They both are selling journals with, like a 13-week or 100-day journal kind of thing, where that's the challenge. So there's more than enough of that stuff out there.
Nice.
Get it done 101. We're going to dive a lot deeper in that and talk about specifics. I'll tell stories about why, I'll tell stories about how I learned this stuff, and get into a little bit more depth of what's actually going on in your brain. Daniel, you've seen some of that, and it really helps people to understand, I found, when they go deep and they really understand the physical parts of the brain that are involved with this process, and what you're literally doing when you meditate and journal and think about gratitude. Yeah.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
If people want to work with you, you say they have to do the practice first. So if you want to work with Clay, complete the challenge, and then you can look him up and you can purchase his class.
Actually, I'm not gonna hold him to that. I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere for Get It Done 101. Get It Done 101. It helps. Like, you've got this challenge in front of you, but Get It Done 101 is going to build. I'm going to have a limited number of people in this class. I'm going to do this class together. I'm going to have bi-weekly. I'll be online, making sure all the lessons are being absorbed, making sure that all the questions are answered, all that good stuff. And because you're going to run into challenges. I guarantee when you start talking about a daily launch, the number one challenge that people run into immediately is, well, I didn't get to sleep on time, so I couldn't get up early enough. Well, guess what? You've got to now look at your landing. And having that community around you to help you figure out how to make all that stuff happen and how to make all that stuff work is what the value of Get It Done 101 is about. It's part of the value. Yeah.
So in closing, is there anything that you'd like to share with the world?
Me personally, or Terrell?
Terrell, did you have any questions for him?
No, I'm really enjoying this. Thank you, Clay. I'm really enlightened. So
it's been fun. Yeah.
I'd ask you this: what was the biggest thing that you were overwhelmed with when you were just starting off doing the landing and the launch and the landing?
The biggest. So I love how you asked that question, because I started, the biggest thing I was overwhelmed with, and okay, that's a lifetime of stuff there, and you narrowed it down to just the launch and the landing. But ironically, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I just wrote another blog post, a guest blog post about perfectionism. Here's the question for you and for all your listeners: how many different ways have you successfully procrastinated? I mean, like, we could sit here and we could brainstorm together for an hour, and we could come up with this huge list of ways that you could put stuff off. Like, I overslept. I don't have a perfect practice. I don't have my vision board done yet. I don't have a journal. I don't have my actual journal on hand. I don't have a journal. How can I journal? Right? There's all these things, right? You're not wrestling with procrastination. You're not wrestling with shopping for a journal. You're not wrestling with perfectionism or whatever you want. All these different things. That's not what you're wrestling with. You're wrestling with the inner resistance. So that's always been and always will be our hardest struggle, overcoming our own internal resistance to actually taking the action and doing the step. And to answer your question, the way that the thing that kind of, it's not instantaneous. It's not a switch for me. I think I'm like most everybody else, and it takes a long time. You guys we've been talking about accountability a little bit in the recent past, and me and a partner became very accountable to each other, and we literally would text each other. Okay, day 1, we did it. Day 2, we did it. Day 3, we did it. Day 4, I didn't do it. Day 1, I did it. Day 2, I did it. Day 3, and that was the work that I had to put in to get through that stuff. But I understood the value of it. And there's the piece. It's like, right now, based on our short conversation, you don't understand the value of what we're talking about. You have got to get deep into your brain, and you understand how this stuff is connected and how your subconscious actually works to stop you by procrastinating. then you can overcome it. And at least that's what I've seen. I've seen all my clients and stuff. They start taking action once they get it and they put it together, and then they start meditating and they start journaling, and then they start messing the 5-part framework. They start doing all 5. Clients start falling out of the sky. Books get written. $1 million deals get made. It's exciting. It's awesome. I'm loving what I'm doing right now.
Fantastic.
I love your energy, and it feels so fun.
That's why it's called enthusiasticclay.com. Yeah. I love you guys too, man. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so thankful that you guys are doing the DoNow. I love it. It's beautiful.
Awesome.
Killing it.
All right, folks, that was Clay. So
yeah, we'll link everything in the show notes, everything we talked about, so you can see all the links in there.
Cool. There's a free video series. Real quick, guys, the link is going to be to a landing page for a free video series where we go into a lot more detail about what Get It Done 101's about, to make sure it's right for you. Because like I said, I want to make sure I'm working with the right people, and I want to make sure that I want to make sure everybody I work with is happy and getting value for getting what they expected. I'll put it that way. So go check out the free videos. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it'll all be in the show notes, so we'll make sure we get that to you all. Cool. Well, thank you, Clay.
Thank you, Terrell. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it.
Also, if people want to connect with Clay, he's also in Colorado, and he loves anything to do with snow. What is it? Snowboarding that you love?
Snowboarding. Yeah, right now that's where my focus is supposed to be. But if you can see those crutches back there, yeah.
Yeah. So we love Clay, and if you want to love him too, you should go visit him and tease him that he can't snowboard until his leg gets better.
Wow. Wow. Just a little bit of mean. Okay, I got it. I love you guys, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye. All right. Thanks for watching that podcast with Clay Green. All right. So right now we're going to talk about the do challenge that he had talked about, to do it right away. And what he said was he would create a launch, a morning routine that would include meditation and journaling. So the number one thing that you must do to start a morning routine is you want to put you in the right frame of mind for your day. So if you are meditating and journaling, what can you add to that? Add gratitude. And then imagine what your world would be like in your mind, craft what it would be like. So that was Clay Green's do challenge for you guys. Do it. Let us know how it goes. Email thedowhowteam@gmail.com. And yeah, all right. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.